What up, Green Peas? Welcome to Prison Junkie, and today we've got a special guest. And this is a man that doesn't need much of an introduction here. This is, of course,
Big Dave.
Big Dave. Oh, Big Dave. Look at old Smokey over there. That's the star of the show. You better believe it. I mean, really, has there ever been a bigger Dave than you?
I'm sure there has.
What are you pushing right now? I mean, look, I'm not trying to put you out on blast. I'm not trying to...
350, 360. Thinking about doing a Biggest Loser thing on YouTube or something, you know, like a bet. Like, can I lose 60 pounds and get down to 300 by Christmas?
Yeah, now, have you always been a big guy?
No. I actually used to be in shape. I played sports most of my life.
You are a hell of an athlete.
I play all sports.
Listen, I will never forget back we were at a mall. Watch out for that tree. We were at a mall, man, and there were a bunch of, they weren't even old women. I mean, some of them were like kind of small women. And you guys are gonna have to bear with us because we have a, but anyway, so yeah, we're dealing with Smokey, and he's a real live wire. Kind of like those women that you were dancing with at the,
At the mall.
At the mall. At the mall. It was a great clip. I wish I had access to it, but I don't. But, you know, what kind of brought me down here is I had an emergency trip that I had to make, and it was about an hour away from home, and this is kind of home for me. I haven't been here other than when I got out of jail in November. I got out of Chesapeake City Jail after finishing my year-long sentence. So anyway, Dave, how long has it been since I've seen you?
It's been about a couple years now.
Because let's see, April of 2018 is when I had like the overdose incident. I'm pretty sure that I'd seen you, I'd seen you,
February.
yeah, March, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. So the last time you were locked up was?
I did 10 days. That's it.
And what'd you do it for?
Trespass.
Trespassing.
Yeah.
And what happened?
I got 10 days in jail.
And this is on top of how many years have you been locked up?
Over 20 combined.
And you're how old?
44
40, hold on a second. So you're 44 years old, you've done 20 years.
altogether.
Altogether. And what was the longest stretch?
7 years, 6 months.
And what were you, 18, 19, 20 when you were first locked up?
Yeah. I was in a youthful offender program in Florida, Department of Corrections.
Did you make it through it?
Yeah, I made it. It was tough. Florida's a little different situation than Virginia.
Yeah, I've been in Orange County. I was in Orange County jail when I was I was in college, man. I got kicked out of school and went on
Florida's a whole different ball game when it comes to incarceration. So there's no air conditioning. Everybody has to have a job. You don't get paid. If you don't get money from your family, you don't get nothing. So imagine how hot Florida is. So no air conditioning, right?
Yeah.
If you don't get any canteen money or any support,
you're just straight up hit, man.
You're on
Nothing.
your own. You just gotta get a hustle.
And so what do you got to do? So what kind of hustles were you into?
Well, when I was young, I didn't really know. You know, when I was young, like I said, I was a youthful offender. You know, I didn't really learn the hustle game my first time in prison.
Is that where you grew up, man? Did you grow up in Florida?
No, I'm from New Jersey.
That's right. That's right.
I'm from New Jersey.
So how'd you make your way there? Was it family?
My stepdad was in the Navy.
What is the dirty little secret about prison and jail? I mean, to me, it's which time is way rougher?
Jail time.
It's jail time. It's not even close.
Yeah, you can't even compare it.
And why?
No sunlight, no fresh air, no movement. It just seems like, you know, in prison you can kind of make a lifestyle out of it. It's prison is a world in itself.
It is.
You have your prostitutes, you have your drug dealers, you have your casinos.
Now, how many prostitutes did you hook up with while you were locked up?
Well, I'm not going to discuss that right now, but you got.
I mean,
COs.
what are you into? I mean, is it like the bigger?
You got COs that are prostitutes. You got some correctional officers
really?
that are prostitutes. Oh, definitely.
Male COs?
No, female COs. Matter of fact, there was a female prostitute on Indian Creek named Miss Naughton, but she wasn't there when you were there. But Miss Naughton, you know, $50. Especially.
Now, how long had you been at Indian Creek when I got there?
Man, I was there for about 28 months. So I had been there about almost a year, I guess, when you got there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I met you, and this is how I met Big Dave. Well, first of all, I was looking for something. I think I was looking for a radio, or I was looking for an antenna, because this place didn't have cable.
Or something, shorts, so you could go out and wreck fields.
Yeah, you remember.
Yeah,
you remember. But Dave would go around. You know, Dave.
I was on point. You know, I was spiritually, I was educating myself on a daily basis. I maintained a regular regimen of exercise. I had a pretty healthy diet. I was on common fare. And to be honest with you, the best man that I probably...
And you were hustling your ass off.
Always.
I mean, this dude, so from one side of the yard to the next,
yeah, I had access.
you couldn't get to the other side of the yard, especially if you were in one building, 1A, 1B. There was no, it wasn't happening. You were stuck there.
Yeah, and me, I walked any building I want to, and I wasn't even supposed to. But, you know, I did so many seminars, and you know how many seminars I did.
And that's how I initially was like, this guy said a bunch of stuff that really touched me. I wish I could remember it verbatim, but this guy literally got in front of 50 convicts, and everybody's miserable. I mean, this is one of the most miserable places I've ever been. It just sucks. It's mind-numbingly boring. It's behavioral programming. I mean, it is just, oh God, I'd rather do, I mean, it's just awful.
I'd rather dig ditches all day.
I mean, but they do try and integrate some sort of therapeutic elements, I guess, and get people a little bit of latitude, like Dave, who had been there for what, a year at that point?
Yeah.
Now, how did you get that gig? He's going from building to building, talking about his experiences, and it was the first time I had heard anyone in prison, because everybody's playing a role. You know, everybody's playing a part. You know, they're playing their position, all that stuff. Well, Dave comes over here. He's like, I'm a motherfucking crackhead. That's what I do. I smoke crack. And this, you know, and you were just like crying and just intense and sweating. And I was just like, this motherfucker right here is he talking straight from the gut. I mean, it was the rawest shit I ever saw in prison at that point. And it just touched me to such a degree that I went up after you spoke. And I was just like,
you came
dude.
up afterward. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
You came up and introduced yourself to me, and we spoke for a little while. Yeah, I remember.
It just hit me, man.
Yeah.
It hit me. And then and because of that, I've always had a special place in my heart, and which is why, you know, I literally heard Joe Guerrero say that that I was responsible. He was on a Twitch stream. Somebody sent me a clip, and he told me,
What?
He said that I was responsible for your relapse. I was responsible for.
That's interesting. I don't know about you, but I'm able to get in trouble by myself anywhere in this country. And, I think we've both been addicts for quite many years before we ever met each other, correct?
And what year did we meet each other? 2013, maybe?
Around maybe there.
Maybe 14?
14. It was 2014. But neither one of us needed any assistance to go to the dope man. We know what streets to look for. We know what attitudes. We know what behaviors to look for. We know where to go. And if we don't, we'll find someone that does. I'm a low-down, dirty crack fiend, an alcoholic, heroin addict. I would do any drug I can. I've slept outside to the point for months just so I could be an addict. I just didn't have enough nuts to kill myself, so I tried to kill myself by getting high and drunk off everything I could get. I've been without washing my ass for almost 15, 16 days. Why the fuck would I lie to someone about whether he started me using crack or I started it? It's not that big a deal. We sit here and expose our lives every day. I've been exposed. I've been talked shit about on the internet for what I did.
What did that feel like?
I mean, you know, when you're in the midst of addiction, you know, you don't have a lot of feelings.
Yeah.
You know, you're kind of numb. You feel it. It hurts. That guy's a piece of shit. You know, he'll never be nothing. He used you. He played you. But you know, in our minds, when we're doing good, we don't never set out really intend to fuck no one over. We don't set out. You know what? I'm gonna get this money from the After Prison Show, and I'm gonna fucking smoke as much crack as I can. That's not the intention. The intention is I'm gonna use it to get on my feet. You know, but then you got other things going on. You got, you know, stuff going on at the home. You got stuff going on in your life. Then on top of that, just the playing being an addict itself is hard.
I introduced you to this dude, right? I remember you called me up.
Yeah, you introduced
You hit me up on Messenger or something like that,
Right.
and we're like, dude, I'm fucked up.
Yeah, I'm in a bad
fucked
spot.
up in the game. I'm in a bad spot, and I was working full time for the show. And I talked to Joe, and I was like, look, man, this is a good dude, and I really wanted to.
And he knew me. He knew me.
He knew you from Indian Creek, yeah. And you know, I knew that you were. What have you been diagnosed with?
I'm bipolar, manic depressive, mild schizophrenia.
Yeah.
I've been dealing with that since the early 90s.
Because I've literally seen you one year be What kind of a Muslim?
Yeah, I was a Sunni Muslim for quite a few years.
And I always saw your nose in the book. And then the next couple of years later, fast forward a couple of years, so I met David Indian Creek. And then the next part was I saw you at Chesapeake City Jail. I'd never seen you on the street prior to that. And you were a Bible scholar.
Yeah, which I was previously in the past. But long before I ever came to Islam, I was actually in ministry. I assisted a pastor out in Ocean View in East Ocean View Baptist Church.
Yeah.
So I had a long history with Christianity since the age of 19. You know, I believe in God. I believe in a higher power. However, you know, as you get older, and the more you study, the more you learn, you know, any way of life can change a person. Some people lose weight with Jenny Craig. Some people lose it from Weight Watchers. The only thing that matters is if you lose the weight. If you come into contact with something that changes you as a person, that motivates you, and it makes you a better man than you were yesterday, so be it. But my early years, anyone that thought different than I did, they're wrong. My way is the highway.
Yeah.
And, you know, anyone that didn't believe in the religion you believed in or in the faith you believed in, you know, you're going to hell or you're on the wrong path, you know.
So you're just saying it was just super easy to judge people?
It's so easy, and we all do it.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
Especially, but no one's worse than religious people. And
Well, people that stop smoking, I think they're worse.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, dude, I remember this guy, Rod Hobbs, man. He used to make me spray Febreze before I went into his house. He was a sales manager when I was selling steel buildings. Unbelievable. Here, come on. All right.
Baby.
Yeah, so now we can kind of go for a walk anyway. Like I said, I think it was March of 2018, and I kind of want to unpack this a little bit, right? So I can't remember which month it was. How you doing? He's not going to jump on you, I promise. Oh, well, why not? Because nothing will do favors for your reputation like Prison Junkie. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that. I kind of feel like Dorothy in Toto. Like if I had like a giant like lunchbox thing that fit on my bike, I would be like, and I'm from Kansas too. It's crazy. Yeah. So let's just dial it back to that day, because it, you know, I mean, I think this is well trodden ground, but you have to understand the reason why I feel defensive about this is because we made a video where I showed my bank statements and records.
Right.
You know, and that night that you got the GoFundMe money, what happened?
Well, I went shopping, bought some things that I needed. You know, I got home, my mom, you know, gave her a few dollars. She asked me to go get some beer. You know, my mom loves to drink.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm an alcoholic myself. Got drunk, you know. Everything was fine, you know. The next day, or earlier, 5, 6 o'clock that morning when they started selling beer again, I got some more beer. Next thing I know, I was on the way to the dope spot. Like I said, you know, people always think that we intend these things. Like, oh yeah, I just want to mess up all this money and be broke again. Oh, I love being miserable and broke.
You know, wiping everything out, like all your resources, all your money, you know, you build the trust, then you tear it to pieces, and there's something like really cathartic, like almost spiritually cleansing about it. I know that sounds crazy, but like,
yeah, I mean, that's why we intend to.
I just repeated that action and that routine again and again and again. You know, and I think a lot of people are going to say, "Whoa, you know, wait a second, man, you were really sick. I mean, what about all the rehearsed panhandling stuff? You know, because you're an ace at it."
Yeah, it's a gift and a curse.
Yeah,
the ability to speak. Yeah,
I mean, you know, you're good at it.
Yeah,
you're a good salesman. Which is what you were doing before, you got COVID, right?
Yeah, before I caught COVID-19.
And then what happened?
You know, I caught COVID-19. I paid to get my license back. I bought a scooter. I was getting ready to become a manager of a team, train some guys how to cross-sell, how to sell, because a lot of people, you have solar people and you have home improvement people.
Yeah.
But I was cross-trained. So, you know, he offered me, you know, as the company gets bigger, a managerial position, to where I can instruct and teach people, you know, how to deal with people and how to, you know, how to market. With that being said, I was doing very well. I was clean, you know, for months and months and months. And then I relapsed maybe like once a month. once a month, once a month.
And you're not even on paper anymore, right?
No.
I mean, how long has it been?
I made it on probation. I got a probation in January 29th of this year.
January 29th.
Yeah.
So.
It's the first time I've been on probation since I was 17 years old.
And you're how old now?
44. This is the first time I've been off paper since I was 17.
So if my math is right, and there ain't no guarantee that it is, that's 27 years.
Yeah, yeah. This is my baby, you know. Ooh, yeah. This is my buddy, man. He's really a joy to my life. He's really inspiring, motivating. He's a nice, I just love him, man. He's a good dog. He's been through a lot. I'm his third owner.
You think he's like you?
He's my sidekick. In a lot of ways, yeah. In a lot of ways, I do. You know, I do a lot. I see a lot of the anxiety he has, being alone, not having family, not really having friends. And then when all your friends are addicts, it's just like not having friends, right?
It's almost like having nothing but enemies.
Get ourselves together.
You think it's part of it, man? Just like never fitting in from when you were a kid?
Yeah, never fitting in, always moving, always traveling, never, staying at the same school. I don't have any people I can call that I grew up with, all I had was my mother, and she's an addict herself. It gets a little difficult. Matter of fact, my mother didn't even come see me. I didn't see my mother from 95 until I got a letter in prison just before I was going to get out in the end of 2014. So me and my mother just reconnected. So
just a couple of years, because I've talked to your mother, multiple times. Of course, we did videos with your mom.
Me and my mom reconnected in the end of 2014 when I got out. Yeah, and she, in a few months before I got out, she started writing me and stuff. She was homeless right here in the oceanfront.
Well, because I remember when I met you on the street, because until you gave me that phone call back in, I guess, early 2018 or late 2017, whatever it was, like, I'd never seen you on the street. Now, I'd been locked up with you in prison.
Right.
I'd been locked up with you in jail, but I'd never hung out with you on the street. You gave me that call, and I thought, well, yeah, there's something we can do, for you, and I just want to see, how it goes, and
well,
and it went.
It went it went, and
it went,
and it's unfortunate what happened.
And then I've known you ever since. I mean,
yeah. They said that I lied about having COVID-19 on the AfterPrisonShow. They said that he was lying.
What was the most hurtful thing you ever read, man? Is there anything that sticks out?
I'll be honest with you.
Sorry.
I've hardly ever really read the comments much.
I remember being on the phone with you and you saying, these motherfuckers here, man, they fucking hate me, Yanni.
Yeah, they do. They have a lot of hateful statements, man. And
internet stuff.
But the thing is I don't mind nobody cussing me out for what I did.
Yeah.
But when they're like, well, shit, that's all he wanted to do the whole time. He's been like that forever. He'll never be shit. I don't know why you fucked with that guy to begin with. And, but then now you're talking about like you know me or something. You don't know me. You know what I mean? They make comments about your past and your future. And all they know you from is a 20-minute video on a YouTube channel.
Do you have any brothers or sisters?
I have a brother and a sister. They were taken away from my mother while I was in prison.
And why were they taken away?
I think she had like a child abuse charge.
Do you know your dad?
No, I never met my father.
You never met your father?
Never. I didn't even find out his name till my 40th birthday. My mom told me his name was Michael Ludwig.
Is he alive?
I don't know. I don't know. I tried to look him up on Facebook, nothing popped up. They say he looks like Fred Flintstone. So do I. My mom said I look a lot like him.
Well, shit, man, if you're Fred Flintstone, I guess I'm Barney, huh?
Yeah, but dabba-doo.
So what is that like, man? I mean, not knowing...
Oh, it's not.
It's
nothing.
It's just whatever.
It's better never to know someone than to know someone and then have them leave you. You know what I'm saying? You can't miss what you never had.
I mean, do you think there's any redemption for that, or just fuck it?
Well, no, I ended up doing the same thing to my son, not being there for him. And I remember when my first love was pregnant, I used to be like, I'm going to be there for you. I'm not going to let what happened to me happen to you. And shortly after he was born, I went incarcerated for robbery.
Dude, I haven't been in the ocean. I don't think I've been in the ocean in like, I don't know. I haven't been in the water in.
How long?
It's been a long time. I mean,
Well, shit. Ain't nothing here but air and opportunity.
yeah, fuck it, right? Dave, man, you got a license? Nah? Well, what about Smokey?
Watching the sun come up, and I had lost the keys swimming in the ocean to the scooter, and I was just sitting out there stuck, and she rolled up and she said, I saw where you were at on your phone. And knocked over my scooter. She canceled the AAA tow, and then it was ruined and disappeared. And then she said, yeah, well, now we're even for the car you crashed.
Save the Yannis in the big days. You know, two of the biggest fails of After Prison Show collectively. And you know, really. But anyways, enough about all of that. That soft-ass Yanni fucking millennial man purse satchel fucking metrosexual bullshit. We don't goddamn fucking, we don't fucking enema our assholes over here. Yo, Volvo driving, ODing in a Barnes & Noble parking lot piece of shit. Y'all probably never even knew what the Barnes & Noble parking lot background was for. But that's what it was.
Ryan, man, you're not a failure. And just because, some of us are some shit doesn't mean we're all the way shit. And I would expect certain people just to take the high road. The badgering and the beating each other up, on screen and all that. It's not the high road. You've got your success. You got what you wanted. You've made it. And it's time to allow others to rise and come up. Definitely doesn't affect anything. No reason to concentrate or be upset. And what hurts me the most is that we've had contact, and I thought that, he was on my side. He's still, all these years later, in reference to me and Yanni, or in reference to me, because I thought that we were on a good level. We had just did a video not long ago. It's kind of hurtful. And I kind of thought you were on my side. You offered me a rehab here a couple weeks ago. I just wish success to anybody who's out there trying. Man, don't give up on anybody. Don't call anybody a failure, a complete failure. Just stay encouraged, man, and let's encourage one another, and let's get past this. Peace out, guys.